Hey there, and happy Monday. So I hope you guys had a great weekend and are easing into November here. And I have like a mess behind me, but it's an organized mess. Just a couple of my close friends, I took a quick video and said, okay, I've laid out like everything kind of fall, but mostly Christmas and things in the mini catalog that I really want to highlight and showcase in my classes this month. So it's November. I have a class this week in Worthington. Next week I have one in my home and in Fairmont, and the following week I have one in Medelia, and then that weekend I go to Okoboji Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it is going to be a busy month for me. 5 in-person events. So lots of things that I am creating, and yet it's so fun. So I always feel like I'm like 3 cards ahead in my head, and I'm still working on just the one. And I'm always like, now how can I remember that idea and those colors and that stamp set and those supplies? But it all comes out, and if not, if I forgot it, well then I don't know that I forgot it, because I forgot it, right? Hi there, Donna. Hi, Sandra. So what I'm doing is bringing you that More Than Autumn stamp set. And when you guys think of More Than Autumn, if you know that bundle, it's in the mini catalog. I think it's so cute. It's got the pumpkin pie, and it's got the little latte and the hot cocoa things. And I'm going to be using those at my classes too, because like I said, this month, there's just so many options for me to go with Christmas or the pumpkin pie or whatever. But today I thought, let's do donuts with that. I think it's kind of a little hidden gem in that, because you don't go, oh, fall donuts, unless you like those apple cider donuts. Those are kind of nice. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jean. So let me get my camera turned over here. And I think more of like the workplace environment when I think of donuts, just because it's an easy, fun way to celebrate something. And so for today's card, that can be a fun, like if you need a card or an idea for a card of like, hey, somebody just got promoted, something happened, and you know, that's exciting. This calls for donuts, and I think it's so fun. And so I want to show you first where this is found. Whoops. So in the mini catalog on page 49, we've got the stamp set and the dies. This is a huge bundle, you guys. It's $47.50 for the 10% off savings, but just lots and lots of dies. Look at all those dies, all those little pieces. It just, I don't know, reminds me of growing up when I loved to do like the paper piecing thing as a little kid, and just to create things out of the little pieces. And I love that the words, there's a lot of words that you can pop up, and you know, it's really going to give our adhesive sheets a workout in a good way. So I'm glad that we have those. So lots of dies, tons of sentiments and images and such too. So some of the dies are different than you know, like we always have those fun surprise, I call them surprise dies, that just kind of make everything go a little bit further, and that's exciting too. So a great set there that I'm using, More Than Autumn. So like I said, it's in the mini catalog. I always like to tell you guys that, because sometimes with online exclusives or even like coordinating products, sometimes I find those in the online exclusives and stuff. So I really try my hardest to tell you where I'm getting things, just to make it easier for you to find. Plus I always try to have like a link with all the supplies listed too. Hi there, Connie and Pam and Deb and Marla. So maybe I should go later more often then. It seems like I have a better following. Everybody is working and busy, and it's like 'twas the night before the election, so everybody's probably just like bracing for the calm, right? Okay, so to start out, just lots of like white. I did choose a card base that is Calypso Coral. This is one of my favorite colors, and with this card, this is the easy thing, is you can just play around with the colors of either what you have on hand, your favorite color, maybe the person that you're sending your card for, their favorite color, or just maybe some theme or something too. So that's how I chose that, because I really like Calypso Coral. And then just lots of basic white, and then a window sheet. So I'm telling you, there's a window sheet because it's clear, and so it might be hard to see. And as I use all these different pieces, I will also be telling you the measurements, because that's the part that's going to make it easier for you to recreate this as well. So let me just get started, I think, with building my my little donut box. I hope that looks like when you get donuts and you open up. Maybe I should have made it look this way. I don't know. Anyway, I hope it looks like a donut box that you see when you get like a dozen donuts, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm lining this up, is this is 3.75 by 5, and what I'm going to do with that is get out my deckled rectangle dies. I'm thinking that these moved to the online exclusives. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be the 5th from the largest deckled rectangle. So size wise, that's the one that I'm using. And then I'm just going to put this through my machine here, my cut and emboss machine. So I'm just centering that, and that gives us a nice edge and ledge around there when I do that. So I've got this now to be the front of my donut box. And then of course I have this nice deckled, and it kind of even leaves a nice little ridge on there too. So I've got a lot of these that I'll save for a different project. You know me, it's gonna turn up somewhere. It'll probably be at a time when I'm like short on time for cutting out a bunch of things, and I'll be like, oh, God loves me when that happens, and it saves me time, right? Okay, so I've got this, and so you can see where that's going to kind of be front and center for my donuts. So next I need some donuts, right? So I'm just grabbing this little scrap here of basic white, and from the More Than Autumn, cute little donuts with the sprinkles on. Yeah, I don't know what I did there last time, but it looks like some Cajun craze there. But I was like, you know what? I just need a little piece for you guys. And so for that, there's a little cutout from the More Than Autumn dies. And there's 2 little notches almost across from each other. One juts out a little bit more, and one's just a little bit more subtle bump. And so you can kind of see this one, the frosting juts out a little bit more, and this one's a little bit more subtle. So it's pretty easy to be able to match that up here. And so people that will be making this in a class, I'm not going to say who's going to, but they will be cutting out, let me get my cutting plate here, stamping and cutting out 3 of these donuts. And if you know me at classes, I try and hover around the stations that have the die cutting when possible, just because it makes it easier for you guys to enjoy if I can do the cutting. Some of them love to do the cutting, so I try and then not hover when that happens. So this cuts out the donut, and then it also cuts out that middle as well. Oops, so we've got that. And then to save time, I did all 3 of them for you guys, okay? And so now is the time where I'm going to do the coloring. I was going to do the coloring ahead of time and ran out of time, but then some people like to see, like, really, how did she do that coloring? Okay, so I'm going to get it close here. Hi there, Sandy. So for the donut part, I just went to my neutrals collection that Stampin' Up! Has. Sometimes they're a hidden gem. So the SU500 is the color that I'm going with, and I do my coloring with a bullet tip. That's just what I like to do. So I'm just going to go around the outside edge here with that. And so if you're thinking, different holidays, if you make like the apple cider donuts and you think, you know what, my donuts might look a little different colored or something, or like I said, if you're doing like a party theme and want your donut colors to come out, then that's kind of a fun way that you can change that up too. But the Stampin' Up! 500 is this one. And there's going to be white all around in the center, just because there's always that white edge, but there's just this little peak that comes out in the middle, and I'm just coloring that to make it look like the donut, not the whole inside there. So I'm just going to do that and fill that in. Okay, and then I'll switch to this last one. And I'm committed to doing all this coloring because I can't finish the card without having these. I can't grab from my sample card because they're all sandwiched in that window sheet, and I can't put my window sheet on or together until I get my donuts colored. Okay, but for those of you that love to watch coloring or do the coloring, this will be good. So Donna said, do you think it would be easier to color them before you cut them out? This is my lesson to myself that I've learned several times. Personally, I say no. Some people, fine. But what happens is, okay, I'll answer while I color. So now I've got some colors out, light Calypso Coral, dark Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to start with the dark and do the outline. Okay, that's a good question. The reason I don't color first is every once in a while, see, I love to use that magnetic pad still. And even if I didn't, sometimes the dyes can move or shift, as you're putting them through. And I always think, oh boy, if I just spent 5, 10, depending on, what you're cutting out, minutes coloring that in, and then my dye jumped while I was cutting it out, and then I have to start all over. It's easier to just stamp, cut out, and then if it jumped, all I have to do is stamp again, versus stamp, color for 5 to 10 minutes, and then die cut. Then I'm kind of feel like I'm a little bit more emotionally invested and mad at myself if it jumps. So that is why I do that. So that is a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Okay, so that's one of mine there. Hi there, Jan. Thanks for joining in. The next one, I'm going to grab that new in color dark and light peach pie. So I'm just going to go over this with the darker. I tell you what, I'm not like a huge donut fan. Like some people be like, oh my goodness, donuts like hold me back. I won't say that I don't like them. It's just like if I'm going to our local Quick Trip, which I love visiting Quick Trip, like love it. Okay, I don't navigate right away to the donut section, but every once in a while, they have these things called Persians, and I've never heard of them. They taste like a cinnamon roll, but they're like a Bismarck looking thing. And those are like really yummy. I love those. Okay, so we've got that one. And then the last one I'm going to do is the dark and light petal pink. And so this, I've seen, it's almost, because it's such a light pink color, it's almost like that glaze that they put on, that's like, vanilla-ish looking. So I thought, this will be the perfect color for this, because of how it just kind of takes off from the brown part of the donut. It just makes it look more vanilla-ish colored than pink for some reason. And it is always such a kind of light color. So I kind of like this for my donut frosting too. Almost looks like if I were to make like pumpkin bars or something, like that cream cheese frosting. So there we go. We've got all those. Yeah, I know. You always say that it makes me look like I color all day and make it look so easy. So hopefully, that's it. I think I'm going to actually leave the camera. Hopefully what I'm doing, I can squeeze in here and not have it be too close that it hurts your eyes. So I've got these pieces, and then also what I have here is my window sheet. So my window sheet here, let me just double check my measurements. I cut that 4 1/4 here, 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And then this piece that's going to go behind that is a little bit larger. So that's going to be 3 1/2 inches by 4.75, and then that's going to be smaller than the large frame that we started with. So before I do that, what I'm going to do now is just take and kind of eye where I want these donuts. And so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here, like so. Actually, I might just put them on my glass mat. Love my glass mat, you guys. Like, there's so many times like this where I just kind of like, I'm designing a card, say, and I'm not sure like where I want exactly everything to line up, but I kind of want the adhesive started on there so I can just put everything on when I'm ready. And I love that I can just set things there and it's easy to take off. So with that, yeah, my window sheet's over there. So I'm just going to kind of remember or where that center falls, and I'm going to put my donuts in here like so, and I'm like, yep, I like that. I kind of like the look of, maybe some of them look like they're covered up. It makes it look more natural when this edge is going around there like so. Yes, and Pam, the blends markers for coloring are the bomb, not gonna lie. Okay, now I need that black pad back over here, and in that More Than Autumn stamp set there is like sprinkles, so I'm just gonna put that in here where the other donuts maybe were, so that it just kind of gives it a little fill space, and it also kind of looks like crumbs there, so that's kind of fun. So now that's kind of built up, so I can take, I want to get this out of the way so I don't get any black ink on anything, so I can get this now flipped over, and I'm just going to put my adhesive over the edges like so. Hopefully I'm keeping this in my frame. I have to work a little bit harder at it when it's so close. Okay, so I'm just laying the window frame or the window sheet in there. Don't put your adhesive on your window sheet because it will show. And so now that we've got that stuck to there, now I can put more adhesive on the outsides of this like so, so that we can adhere that onto here like that. There we go. And then I just double check before I press it down to make sure that that's not sticking out anywhere. So now we've got this all sealed up together. If you guys are into making shaker cards, I think I'm going to zoom out the camera a little bit there so it doesn't make your eyes wonky by being so close. I feel like my hands have more space to work too. If you make shaker cards, this is kind of that idea with the layering and keeping things in there like so, but it would be popped up if it was a shaker card. So now before I put this down, I want to put a little bit of baker's twine on, and so I've chosen the baker's twine 3 color pack from the annual catalog, where we've got like the light yellow, the light blue, and then we've got the pink. And sometimes things like this can make me a little bit wonky if I feel like it's going to clash. But with all the different pinks and stuff and such, it's kind of like I'm just using colors that are all within like a color area, so I think it's fine. The other time that I think it's fine to use clashing colors when it comes to pinks and different things is Valentine's. Like, you can never have like too many clashing colors when it comes to Valentine's. I think it just kind of is the spirit of that season and holiday. So with this, I can pop this up, but I think I'm going to leave it flat so that I can pop up my sentiments on top. So I'm going to go along the edges here with my adhesive and making sure I'm kind of on the outside of that so I get good stick and that it's not my ribbon that's catching the stickiness there. So when I was talking about the clashing, like this is more pink versus the Calypso Coral, so there's that, but it all works out. And I kind of like the bright colors. The pinks and the oranges and all of that are really trending right now, so it kind of matches that. And I felt like this really looks kind of bland. Hi there, Fran. So for my sentiment, I wanted to pull in some color, and so I'm pulling in some of that peach color, that peach pie color. And if you're like me and keep your scraps from your little strips that you've cut, I just pulled out some little strips here. And in that More Than Autumn stamp set, I have the little sentiment here that says this calls for, and got that, and it's tiny, but that's what I love about the photopolymer. Very easy to see that. And then this strip is big enough to be able to put the word donuts on there. So this calls for donuts. And I just can grab my scissor here and cut that straight across, and I'm going to cut that straight across. And then on the edge here of the dimensionals, you know it's coming, I'm going to just take and snip a little bit of that off of that edge that's straight, and just put that right on that tiny thin piece here. This calls for there, and I just love how it just adds more color there. And then for the donuts, I'm just going to put a dimensional on each end, and then with my fingers, just gonna kind of bend it up a little bit, and if it creases, that's just fine too. And so I'm gonna put that on here, kind of covering the bottom of that so it does pop up. I like that look. And then I need a little bit more color. So the baker's twine also coordinates with those rainbow adhesive backed dots, kind of the more pastel colors, but those are exactly what I need for my donuts. We've got some of the lighter pinks, the calypso, the peach and such. So it's easy to find something to match. And I need my take your pick tool. There it is. It rolled away. And so I'm just going to take a large one of the rainbow dots in that color, large and small. And then I'm also going to take from the peach pie color here, a large and a small. And this is what's funny too, is my best friend, since we've been like 4 or 5 years old, joked after my last video. She goes, I double dog dare you to put more than 3 embellishments on the next card you make. So I was doing this and I was like, I feel like it has to be 2 and 2. And then I remembered her comment. So if Kirsten's watching, so I took the challenge and nailed it here, because I've got 4 on there, and I usually try and go with 3 because it's an odd number and that's pleasing to the eye. But I think this works too, to do 2 and 2, just because there's everything else going on. And I think because there's 3 donuts, that maybe helps as well. So kind of fun for that. And because the card this calls for donuts, it's probably some kind of celebration that you might be sending somebody, like a congratulations or like I'm excited for you. I'm going to leave the inside blank so that writing can go in there for that occasion, but I do want to add some more of those sprinkles. You could have actually stamped another donut on the inside if you wanted to even color that in as well. So got that. So like I said, if you're just joining in, this is one of the sneak peeks of the cards that I'm making at one of my upcoming classes for you guys. So lots of opportunity for me to get a lot of ideas coming out to you guys, but this is a sneak peek of one of them. So the More Than Autumn bundle, there you go. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and now it's going to keep you guys guessing for those of you that have already signed up. Here I am. Sometimes it doesn't want to telescope the way I want it to. Sorry about that. So yeah, it'll keep you guys guessing as far as who's going to get to make this card, depending on which location you go to and such too. So thanks, Jean. I had a lot of fun putting it together. So thanks for bearing with me, because it was one of those more putsy cards. And if you do come to my events and go, oh my goodness, that looks just like too much work, know that I'm always keeping like the certain cards in mind, like how much time each card takes. So like to even that out, that card will also have at the same event a super easy card that just comes together in minutes. So I am very respectful of your time for that too, but I also want to give you a great crafting experience of doing lots of fun stuff. So take care, you guys. I probably won't be live tomorrow. It depends because I do have a lot of designing to do, but I would like to get one more card as a sneak peek in before my class in Worthington on Thursday. So thanks so much. Oh yeah, the glitter would be kind of fun too, to put that on top of the donuts, or Wink of Stella too. Great idea. All right, thanks. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.